like prime time. We in the game like prime time. We in the game like prime time. You in the game like, hey, you in the game like, hey, you in the game like, hey, you in the game like, hey. Crank that prime time this now. 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 Now crank it to the left. Now crank it to the right. Now crank it to the left. Now crank it to the right. Now crank that prime time this now. 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 Now crank it to the left. Now crank it to the right. Now crank it to the left. Now crank it to the right. In the game like prime time. In the game like, hey. Crank it left to right so the hoes be amazed. Girls in Georgia hoe, that's why I can't be found. I intercept that hoe, then I run a touchdown. Scoring all the points, so I'm pulling all the chicks. Girl looking ugly, I throw the Heisman on that bitch. 45 with my dance for them niggas talking shit. I crack that prime time or put them hands on that bitch. We always win when them hoes start to choose. Deion on that bitch, so my team never lose. When I do my dance, I stay fresh and clean. The finest dimes, they cheering for my team. Jump back, like that MJ fade away. Drinking up the goose like that shit be Gatorade. Never been a crowd, don't try me like no lame. We cranking it, my team done won the game. Crank that prime time this now, crank that prime time this now, crank that prime time this now, crank that prime time this now. Now crank it to the left, now crank it to the